The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is Friday's news. I'm Maricela Kelaton.
And I'm Rex Lita. I'll join you later in the sports segment.
In this edition, grace period for school leavers to end. PNGDF commended. And first ever tennis competition. Only 1 day remains in the grace period for grade 12 school leavers and non-school leavers. The Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology outlined that the grace period for the 2025 National Online Application System commenced on the 9th of December and will end on Saturday the 14th of December at 11:59 p.m.
Grade 12 school leavers as well as non-school leavers have only 1 day remaining to make their choices on the National Online Application System. The Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology emphasized that the grace period, which commenced on the 9th of December, will end on Saturday the 14th of December at 11:59 p.m. The 2024 selection for 2025 admission will be officiated on the 18th December 2024 by the Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Hinoka Hotune Feo. Selection results will be published on December 20th through the applicant's NOAS account under the My Status tab. The Research and Liaison Officer for Private Institutions, Education and Health Colleges, Stephanie Minzihau, said the National Online Application System, launched in 2017, has included non-school leavers this year.
Previously, it was only for the school leavers coming out, the grade 12 school leavers, but for this year, we've included the non-school leavers. The non-school leavers, they include the fourth students, students that did not upgrade, but they were not selected right after graduating from grade 12. They just stayed out 1 year and they want to apply again. These are all students that are captured under the code, or when we say non-school leaver. So those students that matriculated, did not matriculate, but are applying a year later, and the fourth students, the ones coming out from not from the formal education. So we went around beginning of the year, we had workshops to alert our registrars on that.
Formal announcements will be made through the NOAS landing page, My Status Notice Board, DHER's social platforms, or by authorized press statements. Furthermore, for those applicants who see their choices highlighted in red, this means that their final results have not met the minimum program requirement. They must then change their choice to one based on the available and backup programs. Additionally, a choice not highlighted does not mean you have been selected. It means you have met this program's minimum requirement, and after selection, you will then know whether you were successful for this program or not. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
President of the autonomous Bougainville government, Ismail Torama, has told overseas news outlets, the AFP and Reuters, that Bougainville is set to declare independence by 2027, just 2 years away. Torama told reporters on Wednesday on the sides of the investment conference in Sydney that in 2021, Bougainville and the Papua New Guinea government agreed on a process that would culminate in a declaration of independence by 2027. He therefore said the political timeline ends in 2027, citing the agreement to implement the referendum result sometimes between 2025 and that date. It would be up to PNG's parliament to ratify the independence declaration. Papua New Guinean Prime Minister James Marape said he could not commit to the 2027 deadline. However, telling AFP in an interview on Tuesday that it was still subject to the parliamentary process. PNGDF staff throughout the country have commenced their festive season break today, marking the stand-down in a parade at the Defence Headquarters in Murray Barracks this morning. Chief of the PNG Defence Force, Rear Admiral Philip Polewara, announced the commencement of the stand-down during the parade. This period commences today and concludes on 20th January 2025, with all personnel expected to resume official duties then. Highlighting the year's significant security challenges, including the events of Black Wednesday in January, the PNGDF pay crisis, the immediate response of troops on the ground to the Mulitaka landslide, the Chief of PNG Defence Force, Rear Admiral Philip Polewara, today commended the men and women of the force in the CDF's end-of-year parade, marking the commencement of the force stand-down.
These hardships have only reinforced our resilience and reminded us of the importance of being flexible and resourceful in a rapidly changing world.
Last month, upon official elevation to the office of the CDF, Polewara emphasized the need to tackle the rampant abuse of alcohol prevalent in the force. Today, he revealed that this year alone, close to 7 million kina was spent on the repatriation of fallen personnel, most deaths related to lifestyle diseases, and 3 million kina spent on administration of disciplinary-related matters.
My greatest concern, as we do all these good things, is that our men and our women are dying young, in their late 20s and early 30s. Commencing 2025, collectively, we must take measures to address these two concerns affecting the force.
The personal branch, the Directorate of Health Services come under the personal branch. Deputy CDF will be, in charge of that. Going around, chief of operations, force preparation. Most of almost 80% of the force comes under him. We'll have to go around the force, address this issue. It's not just a talk up here in Barry Barracks and we just let it go. It's a security issue of its own.
Polewara told the men and women who serve in the force that in the face of these challenges and opportunities, they should take a moment to reflect on their collective achievements.
I ask each one of you to remain committed to our mission, to each other and to the people of Papua New Guinea. Your service matters, your dedication matters. Together, we will continue to rise to the occasion and shape a future that is secure, prosperous, and bright for our country.
Furthermore, CDF Polewara says there is much to look forward to in 2025, highlighting the nation's upcoming 50th celebrations of independence and the review of the Defence Act 2024 that offers the force an opportunity to modernize their approach and adapt policies to meet evolving needs of the nation.
As we look forward, there is much to be excited about and much to strive for in the coming year. This review will be an important step in ensuring that our defence force remains relevant, capable and prepared for the future. We must not hesitate to change and advance the defence force to face the future. This we have started and we will continue in 2025 and beyond.
CDF Polewara also revealed an exciting development, the relocation of the Basilisk Naval Base to Milne Bay Province. He says this move will greatly enhance the force's naval capabilities. He stated that Milne Bay has always been a strategically significant location And this relocation will allow the PNGDF to expand their naval operations and better protect the country's maritime resources and borders more effectively.
Logistically, it will free up resources and accommodation space within FSB and one PIR. The long-room project is winding down. We have also successfully operationalized our PAC 750 fixed-wing aircraft.
Minister for Agriculture John Boito has officially opened the Fresh Produce Development Agency's Fabian Cho Training Center in Kainantu, Eastern Highlands Province today. Built with funding support from the Australian government's incentive fund, this state-of-the-art agricultural infrastructure marks a new chapter in the country's commitment to advancing its agriculture sector. The Fabian Chow Training Center, under the management of the Fresh Produce Development Agency, includes a cutting-edge tissue culture laboratory and training facility. This establishment is designed to equip local farmers with the skills and resources needed to improve the quality and disease resistance of crops like potatoes, addressing growing demand for certified planting materials both locally and internationally. This is TVWAN News. Among stories after the break, 10 prosecutors certified and Manam court orders.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Our journey starts with you. We'll be there from the start, right through to your life's adventures. We'll ensure comfort and make your safety our priority. We'll take you to memorable moments, no matter where it begins. And we'll get you there like we've always done. The 4th generation coaster bus, more than just a bus.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bougainville.
All right, man. Show me some good slippers around here.
Boss man, boss man, boss man.
Good, you want. Strong like you, smart like me.
Yeah, I hope they don't break.
Now surely look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus shred. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
Welcome back. The Australian Federal Police, alongside Pacific Police Chiefs, has officially launched 2 advanced training and development facilities in Queensland, marking a significant milestone in the Pacific Policing Initiative's commitment to strengthening law enforcement across the region, including Papua New Guinea. Representatives from PNG and other Pacific Island nations gathered in Brisbane on Tuesday, December 10th, to witness the opening of the PPI Development and Coordination Pink Amber Hub and the state-of-the-art Pink Amber Training Center. The facilities were unveiled by AFP Commissioner Rhys Kershaw and Australia's Attorney General Mark Dreyfus. RPNGC Commissioner David Manam, who has been instrumental in the PPI's design, highlighted the importance of these facilities in fostering regional collaboration and building capacity. 10 police prosecutors received certificates today in Port Moresby after completing an intensive week-long prosecution qualified training. The training is a new program that the RPNGC implemented through the Australia Policing Partnership.
The 5-day prosecution qualifying training is a new program that the RPNGC implemented through the support of the Australia Policing Partnership. It is the final stage of training a prosecutor after 2 years of study under the Prosecutor Diploma Program. It aims to better prepare prosecutors before they administer cases in court. Today, at their close-up ceremony, the prosecutors were graced with the presence of the Assistant Commissioner of Police for Operations, Donald Yamasombi, who presented them with their certificates, witnessed by the Assistant Commissioner of Police for Training, Peru Drono, and representative of the APP. In his keynote address, Yamasombi challenged the prosecutors to be diligent when prosecuting matters and ensure that justice is served, because most of police matters make it only to the committal stage and are struck out because of want of prosecution. Yamasombi urged the prosecutors to implement what they learned and ensure they arrest and prosecute offenders, because it is their mandated responsibility.
That we do, taking someone's liberty off when you place someone under arrest is a matter of significance. If we think that an offense has been created against the state, it is you, ladies and gentlemen, that ensure that matter is proven in court.
APP representative Superintendent Ross Williams said prosecution is an integral part of the police force. It plays an important part in any law enforcement agency in terms of holding people accountable if they break the laws of a country. He said this is why APP has supported the RPNGC to ensure Papua New Guinea police prosecutors are given intensive training that is required to upskill them to better prosecute cases without fear or favour.
Making sure the prosecutors have an understanding of what offence they're prosecuting, and what are the elements of that offence, what do they need to prove, what are the defences, possible potential defences to that offence, and what do they need to negative. So all of those things would differ from case to case depending on the offence, and is something that the prosecutors need to understand, and that was something that would be assessed as part of this program.
Meanwhile, Prosecutor Chief Sergeant Patrick Mandry thanked the RPNGC and APP for the training. He said the 5-day training has upskilled them with important skills that they will implement when prosecuting cases in court. He is hopeful that the duration of the training will be increased because 5 days is not enough.
I'm challenging the Mr. Yamasombi with Mr. Peru Drono and your management team. If you can put more efforts and to support the prosecution training, to bring more prosecution coming to this training to improve the standard of presentation in court.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Over 30 health officials from Central East Sepik, Simbu and East New Britain provinces attended a 2-day PHA dashboard training in Port Moresby. The dashboard, supported by the World Bank through the Impact Health Project, helps PHAs monitor service delivery and improve decision-making, particularly in rural areas. The training emphasized performance-based financing, with PHAs required to meet key targets including quality healthcare, delivery and outreach expansion to qualify for funding. Participants included PHA CEOs and senior officers, aiming to strengthen primary healthcare systems nationwide. The Manam Human Rights Advocacy Group is taking the national government to task to pay for its negligence of humanitarian responsibilities concerning 30,000 citizens who had been displaced by two severe volcanic eruptions in 1994 and 2004, respectively. In 2018, a court case was filed against the national government for neglecting the needs of more than 10,000 people in care centers, and a decision was handed down in September this year in favor of the human rights group.
Arakobi handed down the decision on September 3rd in Medang and made several orders for the government to immediately act upon. These orders have not been served to the respective government departments to date. A spokesperson and advocate in Port Moresby, Henry Konaka, said the team of Manam Human Rights Advocacy Group will meet with the lawyers early next week before going back to Medang.
We're also devising a joint mechanism, a strategy on how to jointly implement the court orders. That is a document to be shared and discussed with Department of Provincial Local Government, which is the implementing agency for the Manam Resettlement Authority. So we will be meeting with them next week. That will at least provide an avenue for joint working relationship to ensure that the court orders are being implemented.
Deputy Chairman of the group, Stanis Tibong, expressed gratitude to all who assisted.
Since we arrived here in Port Moresby on the 9th of November 2024, we were welcomed by our family, friends from Manam Island who are working and residing here in Port Moresby. So far, they've contributed so much to our cause. They've established their own fundraising committee, headed by some of our elites here in Port Moresby.
A fundraising drive is currently underway, with another meeting to take place on Saturday, 14th December at the Rosemary Park, Murray Barracks, NCD. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2509 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2434 US, $0.3798 Australian dollars, $0.2251 euro, and 36.83 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed lower except coffee and cocoa closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You're watching TV1 News. Stay tuned. We'll bring you news from abroad after these messages.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaruki up a big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Haren talk young or old, a scale rice family meal with toast. To bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite by miles. Senisi go, let's get rice, low scale price. Senisi go, let's get rice, low scale price. But you like him?
Bro, it's awesome, man.
Pepsi promotion.
I'm so excited. Let's go, let's go.
And the Thirsty for match.
Thirsty for match.
How do you win this? 2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro. 2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win.
This box of match.
It's crazy cool. My God. Pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Full cooler box. Yeah!
A warm Christmas and New Year's greetings to our valued guests. Thank you for choosing Cedar Bay Hotel during your time in Maros Province. We wish you a joyful Christmas and a New Year filled with happiness, health and special moments with your loved ones. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. With gratitude, the management team of Cedar Bay Hotel in partnership with Tashan Group Limited.
Welcome back. In regional news, the Australian Border Force has intercepted an illegal foreign fishing boat off the Northern Territory coastline just hours after launching a new border patrol operation. It comes as rangers and traditional owners voice growing concerns about an increase in illegal fishers in NT waters.
It happened on Monday when the Australian Border Force intercepted an illegal fishing vessel north of Croker Island and detained 7 Indonesian fishers. Acting Commander Tracy Griffin says there are several reasons for the increase.
There's been a number of factors, including the depletion of fish stocks in traditional fishing grounds closer to Indonesia. We have current favourable weather conditions, and there's been a growth in market demand for fish species such as sea cucumbers from our waters.
Indigenous rangers say they've been pushing Border Force to take stronger action after raising the alarm over a spate of boat arrivals over recent months. Since early November, at least 10 illegal foreign fishing vessels have been spotted operating in NT waters, and 12 suspected asylum seekers have been discovered on land and removed by authorities. In the week starting 3rd of November, rangers spotted a foreign fishing boat near Manam, and locals on Goulburn Island said a foreign fishing crew had broken into cars and stolen fuel and oil. On November 10th, Gangi Rangers found an illegal fishing vessel near Croker Island. A day later, West Arnhem traditional owners found 4 suspected asylum seekers, believed to be from China, also on Croker Island. From November 13th to 14th, Border Force intercepted 4 Indonesian fishing vessels, 2 on the Coburg Peninsula, carrying more than 1,000 kilograms of sea cucumbers. On November 22nd, officers intercepted 2 foreign fishing vessels in waters near Manam. And on November 26th, Arnhem Land locals say they found 8 suspected asylum seekers on a remote bush track on the Coburg Peninsula. And Kyle, that's just the incidents we know about. Rangers say the true number of boats in NT waters is likely much higher than what's been officially reported.
Global tech giants have been put on notice. They face a new tax in Australia if they refuse to pay for journalism. The long-awaited plan from the Albanese government would force firms like Facebook and Google to pay the tax even if they don't host any news. The government says the policy is designed to force the companies back to the negotiating table with Australian media outlets.
For more than 125 years, Broken Hill's independent newspaper, Barrier Truth, closed down this year. Sadly, it's a common sight in regional Australia as vital advertising money is lost to social media platforms.
The rapid growth of digital platforms in recent years has disrupted Australia's media landscape, and it is threatening the viability of public interest journalism.
Search and social media companies already pay some news outlets through the Media Bargaining Code, but a refusal to pay from Meta, the company that owns Facebook, has prompted the government to make major changes to the code.
A financial incentive for agreement making between digital platforms and news media businesses.
The charge will be applied to companies with Australian revenue of over $250 million a year, such as those that own Facebook, TikTok and Google. The charge is expected to be around $200 million a year, which they'll have to pay whether they run Australian news or not. But if they strike deals with local media outlets to pay for news content, the amount they outlay will be offset from their original charge.
The past is the past. We've got new arrangements, new incentives in place. Let's come back to the table and strike some deals, make some agreements.
The government wants this to be a carrot rather than a stick approach. In the end, these companies will be better off cutting deals with Australian news outlets rather than paying more to the government directly. TikTok says it'll engage with the consultation process, while Meta says it's concerned the proposal is charging one industry to subsidise another. Any money the government is left with from the tax will be distributed to media outlets. It's not revealed how it will protect regional media, but has flagged support is coming.
The WA government has approved a 50-year extension of Woodside Energy's Northwest Shelf plant on the Burrup Hub for a major liquefied natural gas project following a 6-year approvals process. Extending the life of the Karratha plant to 2070 is a major step in Woodside's plans to develop the $30 billion Browse LNG project of WA's North Coast.
To the Premier, it's a critical gas project to help in the transition from coal to renewables.
We are trying to save the planet, not just trying to save Western Australia, this small part of the planet.
Environment Minister Rhys Whitby gave the project extension the green light with a range of conditions after dismissing a record 770 appeals against the Environmental Protection Agency's earlier recommendation to proceed.
So disheartened today to hear that this project is going to go ahead.
It's the Minister's first decision since changing the government's greenhouse gas emissions policy last month to strip the EPA of the power to regulate emissions. Environmental groups say it would be the most polluting gas project in the Southern Hemisphere and threatened the 50,000-year-old rock art at Murujuga, also known as the Burrup Peninsula.
This is a massive kick in the guts to all West Australians and all Australians who are placing their hope in a government to deal with climate action and reduce emissions.
It is completely hypocritical to think that you can reach net zero by 2050 while approving gas exports beyond 2050 out to 2070. It just doesn't make sense.
As part of the conditions, Woodside must review its operations to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and monitor air quality. In a statement, Woodside says it's committed to ensuring it meets all environmental requirements and will consult traditional owners regarding its activities. But the project extension still requires federal approval.
We call on the Albanese government to reject the North West Shelf extension for both our future and our climate.
Environment Minister Tanya Plibersek has 30 business days to make a decision.
The federal government has declared an offshore wind zone in Bass Strait 30 kilometres off Tasmania's north coast. The new zone is smaller and further away from the coastline than the original proposal, leaving some wind farm proponents wondering if it's in the right spot.
Visiting Bell Bay on Tasmania's northern coast to declare an offshore wind zone in Bass Strait.
It's a good day for jobs, it's a good day for energy, and it's a good day for Tasmania.
This is the beginning of a new stage, a very new and exciting prospect.
The newly declared zone spans from Wynyard to Bridport. It's smaller than the original proposal at about 7,000 square kilometres and is about 30 kilometres from the coast instead of the original 20. At its peak, the zone could generate 20 gigawatts of round-the-clock power, but the turbines won't be spinning anytime soon.
This isn't something about tomorrow or the next day or next week or even next year. It'll take several years to get offshore wind up and running because it's a long process and we're starting from scratch.
Offshore wind developers now have until March to apply for a feasibility licence, but there are calls for that date to be extended, with the zone now smaller and further away from Tasmania than expected. Some wind power proponents are concerned about that distance.
That puts you in much deeper water, which makes the value proposition for floating turbines and offshore turbines not quite as strong.
So we still have work to do to look carefully at the zone that has been declared, and but our take is the area off northeast Tasmania looks like it's got very strong prospects for an offshore wind project for TasRex and our partners.
A declaration prompting mixed reactions.
Grape growers have made an emotional plea for the establishment of a mandatory industry code to ensure the $45 billion industry stays viable. Growers have told a Senate committee this season is shaping up as another nightmare, and they're accusing wine companies of collusion and anti-competitive behavior. Increasing numbers of farmers are walking away from the industry after being offered prices hundreds of dollars per ton below the cost of production.
Wine grape growers are preparing for vintage 2025, the fourth in a row where prices being offered by wineries are lower than the cost of production by hundreds of dollars per ton.
If we don't move to a mandatory code, then we can continue to lose our farmers to suicide, depression and bankruptcy.
Make it compulsory and have it up and running quick smart, because a lot of growers aren't going to survive 2020 to 2026 harvest.
Farmers contemplating leaving the industry as they struggle to put food on the table. Telling a Senate inquiry, wineries have been engaging in anti-competitive and manipulative practices, shortchanging growers.
And the wineries have colluded without a doubt, knowing we can get hopefully one more cheap vintage because we know the writing is on the wall because of the Senate inquiry.
Two of the larger wine companies told the inquiry a mandatory code won't resolve problems created by the glut of wine grapes.
There is a structural oversupply, and I'm not convinced that the mandatory code will change that, but we are open-minded in terms of whatever is for the benefit of the industry.
We do not support proposals to make the code mandatory. The ACCC argues that prescribing a wine grape purchase code would be significantly more complex and resource dependent.
The compelling arguments presented here in Renmark could be enough to convince the Senate committee to recommend the introduction of a mandatory code of conduct. But history shows it's a much bigger challenge to turn a recommendation into reality.
Two previous Senate inquiries in 2005 and 2016 recommended a mandatory code, but failed to get the political support needed.
So we will make our report as a Senate committee, and we will hope for government action to address these very significant concerns from growers who are in a real crisis.
We need to be very careful that the unintended consequences of making changes in the marketplace don't actually end up creating detrimental impacts on our growers.
With an election due early next year, growers will have to convince the new federal government to save their industry.
And that ends the news segment. Later in sport with Rex, PNG NRL team name and jersey colour, and first junior tournament for LTC.
Bro, it's awesome, man. Pepsi promotion.
I'm so excited.
Let's go, let's go. And Pepsi from Met.
Pepsi from Met.
And how do you win this? 2 club Pepsi, that's all. 2 cans, bro.
2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win.
This box of Met.
It's crazy cool. My God. Pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Hula ball. Yeah!
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Gosh, we're ready to go.
Thanks for staying with us. In sports, with PNG now confirmed to have a team in the NRL from 2028, PNG fans and rugby league community are curious to know what the colours of the jersey will be and a team name. PNG NRL bid CEO Andrew Hill, following the PNG team announcement, indicated that work on jersey design is in progress. It has been a welcoming news for rugby league in the country when PNG Prime Minister James Marape and Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese announced the entry of a PNG team into the NRL competition by 2028. Social media has been abuzz with what the next steps will be from here on, including a team name and the choices of colours for the jersey. Responding to this, PNG NRL bid CEO Andrew Hill told Wide World of Sports that from day one, they have never focused on the name, coaches and players. They just built relationship and pathways until the PNG team was announced yesterday. Nevertheless, he said this will be their immediate focus, besides pathways development and players recruitment. Hill said the name and colors of the jersey will be a high priority for him following the Christmas break, with work on the jersey design already in progress. Hill thinks the colors are going to be around the national colors of PNG, red, black and gold. In terms of the team name, Hill says this will be the people's team, a team that will bring together lots of people. PNG NRL bid chairman Wapu Song shared similar comments regarding the name of the team. Song said this will be left in the hands of people to decide, as it is people's team. Song said they will get the country involved in picking a name. Organizing a national vote for the team's name would be viable. The KCK Rigo Rice Cup off-season rugby league competition has completed round one of the tournament's first leg, with round two to continue this weekend at Bava Park, Port Moresby. Some exciting rugby league actions are expected from the 14 participating teams. Competition leaders Taren Nation, who belted Henao Hurricanes 32-0 last weekend, will be going up against 9th place City Taubadas in the opening match tomorrow. After losing its first game last week, Taubadas will come prepared. Other entertaining matches expected tomorrow include Pom Mandrails and Pom City Watch, who both drew 18-all in a tight contest last week. Mandrails, who will be meeting Hurricanes, who lost to Taren Nation, and City Watch plays Pom City Rebels, who tasted their first victory over Builders. Koita Cowboys and Aspirant Knights, who have both been impressive in their first outings with a win each under their names. Their ability to put points on the scoreboard and hold their defense tight will make the game interesting. This weekend's games will see completion of the first leg of Rigo Rice Cup. According to KCK Rigo Rice Cup competition CEO Steve Polly, all 4 legs of the competition are expected to be completed by February 2025. Top 3 teams in each of the 4 legs will win 10,000 kina, 5,000 kina and 3,000 kina each, and a golden pass for the finals. Any team that has players between the ages of 16 and 23 will be given special access into the finals, given that the competition is also a pathway program to promote young rugby league talents, serving as an avenue for exposure. Winner of the KCK Rigo Rice Cup Rugby League off-season competition will walk away with 200,000 kina and a cup title. Rex Litter, TVWAN Sports. Lay Tennis Club will be hosting its first ever junior tennis tournament commencing tomorrow, December 13th at the Lay Golf Club. The first ever junior tennis tournament for Lay Tennis Club promises to be a great one, with huge participants, both boys and girls, registered. The tourney not only attracted juniors from within Lay City, but from other centres as well. The Lay Tennis Club has confirmed a whopping 85 participants in the tournament between the ages of 5 and 18. From the 85 registered, 49 are female juniors and 36 are male juniors. The Lay Tennis Club is pleased with the increased participation of female juniors. Interestingly, 5 juniors who have registered to participate in the tournament are from Port Moresby, and the other 3 are Australian-based. The tournament organizing committee welcomed them and expect a strong contest in all divisions. This tournament will have the privilege to showcase the skills of some juniors who have featured in the international events before. They have received entries of 3 juniors who have represented PNG in this year at the West Pacific Regional Championships in Fiji, and another 3 juniors who have been selected to represent PNG in Fiji next year at the same event. The coaches, players and the organizing committee are set for the tournament tomorrow. Tennis fans are expected to be treated with some entertaining tennis actions as juniors vie for supremacy in their age categories. The Lay Tennis Club thanked the Lay Golf Club for providing the venue, naming rights sponsor Lay Biscuit Company and the associate sponsors. Gold sponsor is J&G Logistics, silver sponsor Papindo Trading, Kemke Group, Reka Engineering and Panamex Anchor Brand. Oracle Pacific, City Pharmacy, Lay Sports Store and Impact Signage are also supporting the junior tennis tournament. And that wraps up the sports segment. Mary Silla with Weather Report.
Southern, Port Moresby, mostly cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Popondetta, mostly cloudy with periods of rain and possible thunderstorm. Momase, Lay, partly cloudy with rain periods at times. Wewak and Vanimo, rain periods with possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Kimbe, mostly cloudy with periods of rain and thunderstorm. Buka, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Highlands, Mount Hagen, mostly cloudy periods with periods of rain and possible thunderstorm. Coral Sea, seas smooth to slight with west to northwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. Solomon Sea, seas smooth to slight with northwest to northerly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with northwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Waters of Cape Bogle to Huen Gulf to Finchafen. Waters of Medan to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border. And waters of New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Whittier Strait to CSC Long Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that wraps up the news tonight. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.